Hello! Welcome to my Clips channel, where Recall runs this entire thing. I don't run this shit, but Recall needs to eat, so subscribe. Oh my god! I was talking about this yesterday. The thing about this is, right now, I feel like we've set, or I just personally feel like it.
Thank God.
That the whole thing with ATK's video, right? The whole thing with ATK's video. The whole thing about regarding it, right? Where when you have the little dino, let's pull it up real quick. Okay, where is it? Right here. The little sad dino.
20th.
You see, you have the little dino, the no party dino, right? And then you have the more experienced player. Okay, the dino that's here. I thought about this a lot last night. Right, this is the experienced player. Right? And this dino is the new player, the one that says, you know, like, I want to get into groups, but no one's inviting me, right? The dino that's fucking here, this one right here, this isn't the new dino. This isn't the same dino from before. This isn't the new player. The person that's bitching about the daily grind, right? The real person is the person that experiences the daily grind, meaning that they're the ones that have like the roster of 12 fucking characters or 20 characters or 10 characters or 6 characters. The new player, and is why we haven't seen this change, is because Smilegate literally, they say, oh, it's the bare minimum. In their mind, which is what he said later on, in their mind, it's the bare minimum because they assume you have a couple characters. The people that say, don't give into this, it's FOMO, whatever, it's your choice. Those are the people that don't run the 12 sets of dailies. Those are the people that don't, because you would, if you're running all of those dailies and Guardians, I would say 90% of you want the system changed, right? The 90% of the people that do all of those dailies aren't a new player. They're the people that want the system changed because they realize it sucks, right? And the people that aren't doing that many, because realistically, if you're doing a couple Guardians a day and a couple Chaos, you don't really give a fuck. It takes you like 30 minutes. It's not a big deal. You're like, I'm in and out, whatever. But if you got all of these characters to do, right? Then you're gonna be like, you're not gonna be the one saying, oh, don't give into the FOMO.
To higher tier rates.
Right? You're gonna be like, this sucks dick. And the people that aren't doing that many, that spend 30 minutes, right? The new players in Lost Ark in Korea, that's the backlash. I live with 2 people that play over there, right? The difference is that the new players that are coming into the game, and that's what he was saying. This video is a little swapped in how it works. The new people that come into the game say, oh, it's not that big of a deal, right? And the people that have been around for a long time realize that it sucks. And that's why in this video, he says that over time, those exact same people, right here in the video, those exact same people that said, oh, like, you shouldn't be able to run 20 Argoses, 20 Vultans. Because at one point, you could do 20 Argoses, 20 Vultans, 20 Brels. You could do all of that. There was no limit on how many raids you could run per week and how much gold you could earn. And then when they nerfed it down to 6, the people that didn't have all of those characters were like, fuck that, dude. What are you guys complaining about, right? But then over time, what happens as the game gives you these characters, right? They give you an express event, right? They give you an event to make a new character. And how many of you are going to make a Slayer when it comes out in 2 weeks? Type a 1 in the chat. How many of you are going to make a Slayer? I'm assuming it's a shitload. How many of you want to make an Aeromancer? Type a 2 if you want to make an Aeromancer, right? Like, let's just, whatever. You're going to make one because you want to make one, right? And the appeal to any game, you could look at any MMO, dude. When a new weapon comes out in New World, that's a selling point. When a new class comes out in WoW, that's a selling point. When a new class comes out in Final Fantasy, that's the selling point. When a new class comes out in Lost Ark, that's the selling point. When a new class comes out in BDO, that's the motherfucking selling point. That's the big driver of the fucking the expansion, the patch. People want to try out the new class. BDO goes through these huge influxes. Dude, did you see Wusa, Meiju, or whatever, Mayu? Like, you all want to make one of those because it's the main driver of the patch. Oh, there's some updates with it, but what fucking pulls you in is the class, and that's Lost Ark's marketing. What I think, in my opinion, BDO does extremely well, and people poop on BDO, the tagging system in BDO, great. Because you just make the character, all you do is you make the character and you get to tag all of your progression onto that character. And if you want to take it off, you can swap it to something else. That is a good alt system. That is a good alt system. You don't have to push that character. The class comes out and you tag your main onto that character, and you get to play Wusa, juice to the gills. When you get bored of it, you untag it, put it on something else, and you continue to farm. That's what people need to realize about BDO. Include that in motherfucking recall. That's a good alt system. You transfer your mains progression onto your alt. You play around with it. You have fun. Okay, I'm good. You don't have to re-farm on it again and then continue to push it. Tagging is where that is a good alt system. You have your mains progress. For people that like to play one character, great. And you know what? Maybe they want to dabble in on Wusa. I'll tag it. I don't have to re-progress and my mains progress is my alt's progress. In this game, you don't have 6 alts. You have 6 mains, 12 mains, whatever the fuck it is. Very few people actually play this game with one main and multiple alts. They don't funnel. They raise their roster. Lost Ark's marketing is they want you to make the new class and hyper express it up, right? And they cap you at 6 because they don't want you to do all of this shit. Right? They don't want you to do all of those. In their mind, right here, that's what they were saying here. If you want, what they're saying is it's the bare minimum because they assume you just have a couple characters. But the game as a whole, when you make that character, what's the natural like feeling when you make a new character? You want to juice it up, right? You want to get the engravings going so you can test out the build. You then want to go into some of the raids. And what requires you to do that is you push it up. You're going to then push that character up, right? But then when you've pushed it up, well, like now you're going to start playing that character. You're going to start farming mats on it. And are you just going to ditch your old character that you had? Are you just going to give it up? All of the gold that you spent on it to raise it up, all of the farming and pushing that you're just going to give up? Oh, I'm fucking done with it. Some people will, right? Like that's my point. That's the healthy mentality, right? That's what this guy's saying. Some people will, but a lot of people won't. And so now they've added to their roster. If you give it up, fuck yeah. That's actually like the way but a lot of people won't because they're like, oh, I've invested so much time on this. And that's the FOMO. If you start, it's what Coxon was telling me before. I'm like, why don't you just do less dailies, bro, right? It's the same shit. It's this is the conversation. It goes in circles. It's like, well, I don't want to miss out on the mats and the materials. I need them, man. And that's how it creates the FOMO, right? Like you don't want to miss out on the materials that you could be gaining. You don't want to miss out on the gold that you could be making. And so when you make a new character because you want to make it, you're going to raise it up. You're adding to what you can do per week, right? And that's how it fills out your week. And then your roster is going to slowly build up, okay? And then what happens is now we're looking at a con, right? And so for me, my problem with this post and this right here, DB, this is my problem with it, okay? I want to read this post to you. And this is the problem with just our version because all of the shit that we've got back is from my motherfucking roommates, bro. It's the people that I live with. It's from fucking ATK, my homie, right? They give you what they do, the most efficient way to do shit, right? And in a lot of ways, it's not. And that's because, and I want you to understand that's because they play on KR where the content has to be designed to be released. So they got all this motherfucking free time. Bro, boys, they don't even have a roadmap right now. They don't even know what they're farming for. They have no roadmap and they're waiting till June. They had a year of hard Brel. A year. I mean, you know how many people quit the game over that shit? That's why you're getting it faster, because they know Brel sucks dick, boys. They know it sucks. Long-ass raid, lots of one-shot mechanics. It's been nerfed 12 different times because one bozo can fuck up the whole raid, and that doesn't feel good when, guess what? You're trying to get it done on multiple characters, right? Because you've invested in that character. You're just going to give it up? Some of you will. I acknowledge that. But some people aren't going to give it up. It's the sunken cost fallacy, which they're not wrong to feel that way. You've invested a lot of time in it. You want to just give it up. I got the scrapper. It's weird for me. Even for me, I'll be real. Like I have my scrapper and it feels so weird that I have all these accessories. It's 5x3 and do I just strip it? Like I don't want to play it anymore, but it feels awkward just getting, I guess I'm just going to delete it. And then I get Keck W spammed. You know, I have my page 2 of my character screen, you know? I got the page 2 of my character screen, and it's just a graveyard of dead characters. You know what I'm saying? Like the Reaper, the Paladin, the all the characters that don't play anymore. Like, oh my God, you're gonna give it up in 2. That's the page of shame. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'll read the post to you and we'll get into it. So he goes, hello, I like to call myself a tryhard player who's definitely playing more than 99% of players based on the guilds and Discord communities that were, there was always a simple logic that I could Used to see if something was reachable for more casual player logic. If I push 4 characters to it, the casual player might at least push 1. It might sound weird, but it was pretty accurate most before releases, because you've had hella materials and a lot of time. It might sound weird, but it was pretty accurate for releases. Now with the con normal, I'm pushing my main. Since Brel normal was released, my main is 1570, 5x3 plus 1. Theoretically, I can be 1580 today. My alts still don't have enough bound leaps to be 1560, and with a con in August, it will be super close call to have all of those alts 1580 ready. Okay, so what we're getting at here is that you want now all of your characters, no, but it's true. We're laughing at it, but it's true. You want all of your characters to be ready for the new raid release. And I'm gonna be a little demon time on this and say, fuck that, okay? Why? So you can push your entire roster and then get to the end game content and then complain about getting gate kept out of raids or being jailed on Sunnivel and giving yourself all of this homework that you have to do just to complain about it, right? Because it's not realistic for a new content release to finish all of that shit on your roster, okay? The point of your alts, if we're gonna go back to the corporate route, is that they're supposed to help your main character. You're not supposed to have 7 mains. And so we have to pace the game around people trying to have 7 main characters. And you want to know why gatekeeping happens outside of understanding the mechanics and why you get kept on your characters is because people have 7 mains. They don't have 1 main, they have 7 mains. No, it's true. All of your characters are gassed to the fucking gills, right? You have all of the gems, all of the engravings. And so you don't have any ults. You have 7 juicers. And so are you going to bring in a non-juicer? The more time you give people to just sit around and make all these characters and juice them to the motherfucking gills, you're always going to have selective parties because everyone's gassed. And why would you ever play with someone that's remotely lower than you? Because you've had a new person comes up into the game. Why are you going to invite them? Not one of your characters is as weak as them because you've had so much time to push them. The point is that when there's a pinnacle thing that you want to push for, it gives you purpose and you funnel it. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. Right? I'm not saying you shouldn't take your time and enjoy yourself, but if you just let people sit around and you funnel them shitloads of mats and you give them all these things, all of their characters are going to be gassed. Every single one of them. Everyone's characters are juiced. So you're never, and then on top of that, you're never going to have one juiced main character, right? There's no alt runs in this game. What's an alt run? What's an alt? You do the same activities on all of them anyway. How do you have an alt if you're running 6 hard brawls a week? So we have to balance the pacing of the game for people to have 5 Akon characters. That's insane. It's absolutely. Now, if your main character can't make it to the content release schedule, that's fucked up, right? That's 100% fucked up. And that has to be monitored. But give people enough time so they can push all these characters, or and I'm gonna be real, like for Slayer or Aeromancer, we have to balance the game around a new class so you can get to Akon. That's fucked, dude. All that's going to happen is those people are going to push there and they're going to bitch about monkey jails. They're going to bitch about getting jailed in 1 through 4 on hard mode the first week. I can't finish all of them. I can't get into groups on my characters. So you have 6 characters that you have to, dude, it's insane. I'm not saying, my point has nothing to do with the post. I'm just showing you this, right? I'm just showing you this. My whole point is he had almost 3K bound leaps on his 1490 characters. What he's getting at, okay, is that he doesn't have enough time to farm all these characters. You shouldn't have enough time to push your entire roster to the end game content. What is the main character then? What is the point of the alts? The point of the alts are not to push funnel your main then. It's to funnel your entire roster. And that's not how, that means alts don't help your main at all. Alts help themselves. And I have 14 alts, bro, I can't. That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at. Right? People don't want it, and as a new class drops and a new class drops and a new class drops, I don't blame you for not wanting to make one. And it's hard to give up a character. That's the problem with the game, right? That's the FOMO, okay? It's in the design of the game in that they release these cool characters and you're gonna push it up and you're gonna invest in it. And you're not gonna wanna give up your old character. Some people will. And so that's the problem here, right? That's the problem. They feed 3 classes a year in some cases. They give you an express event to juice that character up, right? And so it's not the dino here. The person that's saying you're giving into FOMO is the new player, because the existing player The existing player is saying this. The dinos are swapped in this example. ATK is this guy, right? The new player doesn't experience this yet, and that's what he was getting at. The new player doesn't have that many characters, so that's chilling. They don't give a fuck. And the people on Invent and stuff like that, that's why they don't make the change. Because the game is catering to the new player. The new player doesn't give a fuck that they have 4 Guardians and 4 Chaos. What else are they going to do? Now, that's why I was saying they should put it into more roster-wide stuff and invest in professions and other things so that people can go do other things with their time, more fun events, right? Build out the game. I talked about it 5 months ago in that Korean translated video that I posted on fucking Invent. And a lot of people agree. The game needs to expand at the top end to let people kind of just fuck around and do what they want, right? And just enjoy their free time a little bit more. Like the new player. The new player's got plenty of time. The new player is, you know what I'm saying? And you know what's fucked up is the new player, they want the AOS. They want the islands. They think that's cool. That's what they were designing it for. All of the little things, the Mario Party, the new player. Guess who wasn't saying that? Guess who's saying take that out, just give us more raids? The fucking, this Makoko. Because they got all the motherfucking dailies, bro. It's not black and white. There's a middle line to all of this, right? But the problem in our version is that we give people, you let them have all this motherfucking free time to develop out this roster, and that makes gatekeeping way worse. When every single one of your characters is gassed to the gills, there's no alt run. What's an alt run? They're all main runs, dude. They're all fucking 5x3, level 9 gems, level 7 gems, juiced up characters. There's no such thing as an alt run anymore, right? When Vaulton came out, there was alt runs because you maybe had one. Nowadays, you got 5 motherfuckers entering Bro. And people post it on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? People post it on Twitter, boys. They got fucking, I'm 15, 40, I'm hard, bro, ready. And it's not one character, it's all of them. It makes it worse for a new person getting into the game when everyone's so juiced, bro. It doesn't make it better. Now, eventually, it will lead to where Korea's at too, where they give them so much time in between content developments. If you don't push your main and you push up the goddamn roster, you're gonna want to keep continuing to push them. You've invested in them. You're gonna want to move them up, and that's the trap, dude. And that is the core fundamental problem of the game, right? The game encourages you to make new characters because they just give them to you. It's the highlight of the game. I know Asmund said that people wouldn't make alts. Bro, people make alts in every game. I'm not saying the game doesn't benefit you to make some alts, but the way people play them in Lost Ark, it doesn't benefit you because you invest so much into those characters. Very few people in this game are living in turtle jail with 4x3 on 6 characters. No one's getting the true value of an alt in Lost Ark, at least in our version. Very few people. Most people have 6 mains. They don't have 1 main and 6 alts. They have 6 mains. They all have 6 mains. And why? Because you want to play them. You want to play them, right? You want to do it because you want to play the class. They sell it to you hella hard. They give you a free power pass. They let you juice it up. They release 3 a year. I mean, how are you supposed to balance that? Be honest, right? For me too, I can give you a personal example. I have to choose now. Like, what am I going to do, man? Like, I want to make Slayer really bad, but I've also got my sharpshooter to push. And that's the decision, right? I have to choose one or the other. You give people enough time. It's like, well, if I raise that Slayer up, then I'll do my sharpshooter. Then I got both. You know what I mean? And then guess what I got? Well, it looks like I'm gonna have 2 Kai angles ready to go. You know, maybe I'll have 3 Kai angles. Fuck, I got 4. So now I've got Brel, Kai angle on all my characters. That's a lot. That's too much. It's too much. It's too much fucking rating and shit. It's too much. Again, all for it. I personally believe it'd be so fantastic if they you just buffed. You unlock the raids and you buff first time clear rewards and you just choose what you want to play on that week and then you play for, that's what they should do to alleviate a little bit of this, right? Because when you invest in that character, you're going to want to keep pushing it up and you're going to have a lot of work for yourself. And that's what people are complaining about. They've set up all of these, and it's not their fault. I'm not here to blame them. Right? You're just playing in the sandbox that was created for you. I think that's what needs to be revisited. I think it's the design of the game it's cool, man. You want to make these fun classes, right? You want to make these fun classes. I want to make them. So you think I'm making Slayer because I'm thinking about the gold I'm going to make? No one thinks like that. You know what I'm thinking about when I think of Slayer? I'll fucking show you right now. There are 2 reasons. Well, 3 for Big Damn. But I mean, and listen, man, Lost Ark's a bunch of coomers. I ain't gonna fucking lie, dude. You think I'm gonna make this shit up? I'm not. Okay, that's it. You know what I'm saying? No one that actually plays Lost Ark is like, I can't wait to make my gold on Slayer. No one fucking thinks like that. It's gonna cost me a shitload of gold, and I'm never gonna make that back ever from this character. This character's gonna help me make that back. You think I'm gonna use this character to dump into my main? No. You know what's gonna happen? All of my other characters are gonna put the mats on this one. And then I'm gonna be pushed, my progression's gonna go way backwards. The idea that alts help you in this game, they end up taking way more from you than they help you. 100%. Because you keep investing in these other ones. And to keep maintaining all of them is an insane cost. It's like a fucking drain. You'll never make back the gold from having these characters because it costs an insane amount of gold to push this character up. You all know it. That's why you're pre-farming now. There needs to be a system.
Aloo man.
That's why at low on, we got that non-answer response where it's the bare minimum. Because they need to expand the game beyond Chaos Engines and Guardians and front load mats elsewhere and expand the game so people can do other things so they're not worried about cutting down on your dailies because they're worried you're going to run out of stuff to do. Give people other activities in the game to do. Give people other things in the game to do and allow people to just do it on any character. It's raw. And you just get the mats and you can claim it once roster-wide. That's it. So if someone like Aspen wants to play one character, he can just do that. He hits his ghost ship, gets fatty mats, he hits whatever. I don't give a fuck. People don't like the idea of ghost ship. Whatever, I don't care. Let him go do some activity, get extra mats, and that's it. I bet you people would still be making the alts, boys. You know what I'm saying? I bet you more than anything, even if they did that system, you would still be making a Slayer. I bet you more than anything right now that even if they reorganized the mats and all that stuff to benefit a person playing one character, you'd still be making a Slayer and you'd still be doing your Chaos Dungeons and you'd still be doing your Guardian Raids. Why? Because a lot of people can't give up on their characters and they're going to make one every single time a class comes out. And that's why they locked it at 6. And the people that said, no, who gives a shit? Why? Stop bitching that they locked it at 6 Kildarian characters. You're playing way too much. Guess what? Those same people are going to make a new class every single time, and they're going to hit that 6 limit. And they're going to want to do the raids on that character, man. They want to play the game, right? They like playing their Slayer. They like playing their Aeromancer. Anyway, that's a motherfucking rant. Obviously, I don't have all the solutions, but I can see it. I live with people that we talk about this shit all the motherfucking time, boys. I live in a household with Lost Ark degens. You know what I mean? We go to dinner, we talk about Lost Ark. That's what we do. And anyway, I encourage you guys to just realize, at least look at what you're doing and realize what you're doing. And yeah, I encourage you guys to look at what you're doing and seeing what you're setting up for yourself. And if you want to make the new character, just if you got to look at what your other characters are going to be doing. I don't know. Just think about it a little bit more because you're going to set yourself up for a lot of shit.